regardless of the outcome. It is USA who will, well, or China who will be guaranteed at least second in this group. Winner, of course, will take first, and here we are underway. SY Drive Arabia 4 vs 4 hidden civs. It is. Let's see. Slightly different civs here. Is it? I don't see a Spanish. Yeah, it's Chinese for China. It's Spanish for USA is the difference. Both players, or both teams, I should say, both have the Huns, Mayans, Mongols going on here. So Green Arabia, as you can see, let's take a quick look at what it's going to be for the flank matchups. Over here on the right side, in the red, it is B Money, perhaps better known as B Myers, playing as Mayans, who's going to come up against the Mayans of the Chinese team, which is Abu here, playing in that nice pink color. And let's check away at the left side flank. It's Whack in the green, playing as Mongols, coming up against Chinese for James in the orange here. A little, I think, unfortunate here for the U.S. team. They would have preferred to have Whack, I think, in the flank pocket position, not as a flank here. Quick look at who they have for their pockets. It's Hassan as the pocket for Whack here in the yellow, playing as Huns, kind of a standard civ that they like to use for him, and Influenza in the Spanish, who is the pocket for B Myers. Quick check on the Chinese team. Here it is, Yo, who's making his lumber camp quite close to his berries. Kind of annoying, but not a big deal for him. In the gray, who's, you can see, already pushed this deer, not quite under his TC, but reasonably close. Obviously trying to use that Mongol hunt advantage. Is that my dude Ra? Hopefully that is.
Hey man, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. You sound like you might be a little soft. Oh, actually that's much my sound turned down from when I was playing. But yeah, I can hear you, man. Thanks for joining me. That is the voice of Ra you are hearing, who is here on a scouting mission to scout out potential opponents in the finals, and by that I mean to co-cast with me, of course. Hey Ra, thanks for joining me today. Glad to have you here.
Having me, man.
A lot of flaring coming from the Chinese teams as they, I know, are they flaring where they're going to be walling here? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, knowing the Chinese play style, that's probably what they're doing.
Well, I guess we will, let's see here.
Like, we definitely know that they're very good at the team walling and the team that aspect.
Yeah, it's almost become synonymous with walling when you mention the Chinese playstyle. But it's a strategy that we've seen a lot in by pretty much all the teams. It seems like a lot of teams have used that kind of team wall aspect on the Arabia maps through this tournament. Slinging as well. How do you feel about these kind of civ distributions for each of these teams here?
So it looks like China went for the Chinese rather than the Spanish or the double Huns.
Mm-hmm.
And just quickly, at the US team, they went for the Spanish. And that's the problem with going with the Spanish is, well, it's not too bad, but usually when you have Mayans and Spanish on the same side, it doesn't turn out well. But if the Spanish is pocket, then not too bad have right now.
Yeah, as you can see, it is Influenza who's managed to get the pocket position as Spanish. A little bit of bad luck there from Abu as that deer kind of goes from under his TC to a little bit further away, but not too big of a deal for him. Interesting placement here from Whack. So he now builds his house much more forward in front of that goal as maybe we'd expect. Well, we've seen a lot of slinging coming from a lot of teams here. Do you expect to see the same in this matchup? Based on what we have for kind of civs here. Civ distribution where people are in pocket. Ooh, here's B. Myers who's trying to lame this villager from Abu who's luring this boar. And he's trying to just block the villager so the boar gets some more hits, but it doesn't quite work out for him. You can see the boar is all the way back. He has to back away as
Yeah,
that
Abu
scout.
he's Mayans and he has the loom, and then B Myers himself is Mayans with an eagle, so it's actually harder to block with
The
the
slower
eagle than it
speed,
is
yeah.
with a normal scout. Yeah, exactly. Um, so yeah, good try, but that was almost impossible.
The one thing that you do notice here from Abu, though, is that it did kind of delay his, like, I guess, house micro. He lost a little bit of time here as he's been housed, as he was probably worried more about that villager that was luring the boar. Just going to delay his drush a little bit here, but not too big of a deal.
Sorry.
He's going up against a drush of B. Myers himself.
Sorry to interrupt quickly, but Rye, your mic is really soft and it sounds kind of like a tin can. I don't know what's happening.
We like
It,
the tin
it should
can.
it
You.
should be better now. No, is it still the same?
No,
No, it's
it's
still kind
really
of the same.
quiet. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure how to fix it to be honest. I don't have the mic that I usually use. This is all I have for now.
This
If
is a
it's
little
too
bit.
annoying, then
We'll deal with it. I might have to turn you up after this game. We'll see. A little bit unfortunate for Wack. You can see the way he's walled. He's walled like right behind that cliff that he could have used as the natural wall. But here he is killing the scout of James with the help of Hassan. You can see with the scout of his own, but he's going to run into this kind of walled base of James. So he'll either have to find a way around or take some hits from the town center. Back over here on the right side, it's 4 militia now for B. Myers, chasing away Abu, who doesn't choose to take this fight on the top of the hill. Trying to wall is James over here, but it's way too much for one villager to get. Then they're going to catch this villager out. He's sending 2 more villagers over, but I don't think they're going to get there in time as Hassan now sees this with his scout. And Abu is just going to run all the way up to Influenza's base, it looks like, with B. Myers in tow, chasing him with his own militia. Hassan needs the help of these militia from Whack, though, to get that villager. Now he starts to back away. Ooh, Hassan got, I didn't notice this, pretty early feudal age. Is he going to go for scouts from the pocket? I do see a stable going up for him, but it's only 1 villager. And a
yeah,
blacksmith.
he's definitely going for a very fast castle. I think he's gonna play aggressive. We'll see if that's the case.
Gonna
Or
lose
he
this
might
militia
be
as
going
Whack.
for the boom.
Yeah, normally we've heard him say before that his preferred strategy as pocket is the one stable 3TC, or he gets a
Yeah,
nice mini boom going and then really pumps out a large number of knights. We see him do that before to really great effect. Abu just continues to just run away with his militia. 4 militia from B. Myers chasing him, plus the eagle, and now a wolf as well. That's always fun. Stable from Influenza, so you're not going to see a sling from him. Quite safe. Hassan's getting something of a wall himself. For the Chinese team, it's Yinghua who needs to get his wall up if they're going to complete this team wall. Well, if that's their strategy, I'm not sure. Yo and Abu, though.
look at what Abu did. It's really interesting because he rushed, but he went for the pocket instead of going for B Money, and B Money had to chase him all the way. B Money won the fight. His militia are still alive. Abu's militias are dead, but what Abu did is basically he made B Money's militia pretty much useless. So that win for B Money doesn't mean anything, and that's pretty clever of Abu, right? You'll see players do that sometimes. So basically, Abu won without actually winning the fight.
And you can see he's in the time that's bought him. He's got his walls up and he's already clicked up to Castle Age. Let's take a look at Myers here, who's just now clicked up himself. So he's not too far behind. He did obviously invest in 1 additional militia. But he's doing okay himself. He's still got quite a bit of an opening to the south of his base that I expect he'll be closing shortly. Some scouts here trying to get on Hassan's eco, but you can see he's got that spearman to defend. 15:35-ish castle time for Yo there from the Mongol pocket. Let's see, he's done 1 stable, making that 2nd TC. Not quite the resources for the third yet, but I expect he'd probably get that momentarily. Two archer ranges from both mine players here following their drush. Standard kind of expected transition into crossbows. And Hassan's done a nice job killing one of the scouts here from James. And he's actually gonna... Oh, I thought he might get that Yinghua scout, but not quite. You can see it's just one stable play from him. Getting his second town center. Let's take a look at Yo. He's now getting his third town center. Yinghua as well. So it seems like it's one stable play pretty much all around.
Yeah, look at B-Money. He's actually playing very aggressive as a flank. He's going for the third archery range already. We'll see how that works out for him. It's really risky against a team that walls and plays like China. Playing that aggressive can really come back to hurt you.
Yeah, he's just sitting here kind of attacking the barracks, but here comes knights from Yo. No upgrades on them, but it is versus a largely feudal age army here, and popping out of these archers from Abu as well, taking the hill as they try to hunt down some of these things, but he's going to use these bushes to just kind of throw at the Chinese team here, knowing that they're not really of much use at this point anyway. Here come two knights in from Influenza, but they're a bit late to the party. There's an opening between this barracks and the house here for B. Myers that he may not have known about until just now.
Yeah, it didn't work out too bad for him. He'll let his army get away.
Whack, able to get his crossbows right on this lumber camp here in that little opening. Good job by him, forcing James to relocate some of those lumber camp lumberjacks, I guess, at the moment. All the pockets are not really investing heavily into the knights they're building. They're just throwing kind of no upgraded, one stable knights. They're focusing more on the eco a bit here, as you can see. Hassan chasing these knights of Yinghua with the help of wax crossbows. James was the one who went for really much of a feudal age pressure, and now you can see that kind of weakening him at the moment, as he's still got just feudal age archers at the moment. Tough position for a little bit here, it's going to be for the Chinese, but he's got quite a walled base.
I think Wack did a good job early on with the drush and so on. So that's put Wack in a good spot.
But now he's got the crossbow upgrade, does James, and he is engaging versus Whack, and here come the knights from Yinghua. It looks like he may have a slight numbers advantage on Hassan, and the U.S. team's going to have to back away over on the left flank. Hassan turns around and fights on this hill, but he doesn't have the support of Whack's crossbows. They're going to have to back away. Kind of defensive play from both teams now over on the right side. I don't see either team. Well, here comes Abu now. There still is that opening between that barracks and that house right by that gold mine, but it is on a hill, which is going to be very tough for Abu to push, and he's going to think better of trying even. Let's see what the Chinese team does over here. It's so close to that gold mine of Whack, it would be a great spot for them to do damage to. As Hassan's actually chosen to go into the eco, the unwalled players here for China on the left side, getting some knights in there, but he's kind of left Whack to his own whatever bout over here as he's getting chased by these knights. He doesn't have that many crossbows. He could be in some trouble here if this palisade wall goes down. They'd be right in on that gold. Doing his best to hit and run. It is now one armor upgrade, but no bloodlines for Yinghua. B-Miners continue to just play safe on this hill, camping that hill. And Yinghua will just be able to take these out. Well, no, Hassan's going to come save the day. But as you can see, the archers are in, the crossbows are in for James. And Whack is going to have to relocate his gold down here to the south by that town center. Rotating his villagers towards the kind of front of his base where his town centers are. He does have this gold as well, which is forward, but it's oddly enough that forward is kind of what's safest for him at the moment. And yeah, now these expos are just attacking a house. He's Struggling to find weak points in the economy of Whack, other than that gold mine,
Well,
obviously.
I think he's too scared to go in too deep, and then he's worried about Hassan having too many knights and maybe getting trapped. I assume that's why he's not going in deeper into the base.
Staying on the outskirts of this town center, trying to get some farmers. But yeah, that does seem what is going on here. He wants to stay by some confined quarters in case he does face those knights. Influenza's actually moved on to Yinghua here, trying to raid with a couple of knights, but he's getting chased away at the moment. Oh, and Whack has kind of turned it out here, bringing his crossbows out of those archer ranges. He's got more numbers, and with the help of Hassan, that is what will happen. He'll clean up those crossbows. Yinghua coming with knights, but it's not in time, and he's kind of outside. But it is quite a push here from the right side for the Chinese players. You can see it's +2 knights, plus bloodlines for Yo, though he needs to be careful running downhill onto those crossbows in town center of B. Myers. It's a lot of expos from B. Myers, but that's an annoying spot with that hill right outside his town center that Abu can just kind of park on. They haven't threatened much of the economy of B. Myers, but he's only on 2 town center here. As you mentioned earlier, Ra, that he had gone for that 3rd archery range pretty early.
Yeah, those little choices can come back to hurt you. You can see he's almost 20 population behind Abu now. So that's pretty significant.
Yeah, and this is a tough spot for them. Influenza's got some knights here, but he's just out upgraded at the moment by Yo, slightly.
Yeah, well, they have a bigger army, I think. If it was flat, they might have a chance.
Oh,
of
but
winning,
not paying attention, Influenza runs up the hill. Gonna lose 2 knights there, without really doing much damage. Hassan continuing to send knights kind of towards the pockets, trying to find some weak, undefended economy of the Chinese player. But here is the Chinese team kind of pushing on Hassan. He's trying to put the stable up to block, but it's going to get cut down by these Yinghua knights with the backing of these expos from James. Could be some trouble here. He's going to particularly have that gold mine quite exposed. He's already moving probably to the back to this gold mine. Tough spot for Hassan here. You can see the scores are quickly leaning heavily in the Chinese team's favor. B. Myers, he's got a good-sized army, but he's falling so far behind economically. Stable getting cut down. You can see Hassan's kind of finished his boom and was going for like the 4 stables, but at the moment he is in some trouble. He's matched, well, really surpassed by the number of knights that Yinghua has here. Whack needs to help him out, but they're kind of split up. It's going to be difficult for Whack to get there, and they're going right for the town center. They're parking right under this town center of Hassan, and he is... Where are his knights? I mean, I just don't see them. I know he'd been raiding a bit, but he is in a world of hurt here, popping out some of these knights from those stables, trying to get these expos flanked, but the numbers aren't in their favor. Continue to just defend over here on the right side is B. Myers and Influenza. Bit of a stalemate, but obviously B. Myers in a bad economic position there. Chinese team will be happy with that stalemate, and they are doing some work here on Hassan. Very, very dire position here suddenly for the U.S. team. Whack tried to be aggressive here with his expos, but he's running into a Mangonel plus some expos of James.
Look at the fight over in B-Money, so that didn't turn out too bad at all. Influenza managed to get a lot of knights in there, and the Chinese team gave up the hill.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch that, but you can see, yeah.
Big mistake from them giving up the hill, so that turned out great. I thought the Chinese team's gonna control that hill for a long time, and just get the advantage from there. But yeah, that turned out great.
Yeah, a little bit surprising.
You can see Influenza actually ahead of Yo at this point in the game.
And Influenza seems to have gotten a pretty nice boom going. His population is quite healthy.
Yo is up though, but yeah, I think Influenza is slightly ahead maybe. But like you said, Raiden seems to be like he's in a lot of trouble right now.
Yeah, it would be nice for the U.S. team if they were able to do some significant damage to Abu at this point, as they maybe press a bit of an army advantage before Yo's able to get Imperial Age.
Oh, and Whack is gonna lose quite a few villagers trying to get that castle up. He will get it up eventually.
Just in front of that main goal to secure that for him. Yanghua continuing to fight with these knights in the base of Hassan, who's making a siege workshop, I guess, as just kind of temporary wall here, trying to prevent additional knights from coming in, and he doesn't get it up in time. It's actually this palisade wall where the hole is, but I think he's got the army to keep his town center alive, at least for the moment. Meanwhile, down here at the south, it's Abu's going to be losing this town center. Nice job from Influenza and B. Myers here.
But look at Influenza's base. While he was busy trying to hurt Abu, he actually lost a lot of villagers who were on wood. So Yo is ahead once again. And gaining that town center doesn't look like it'll give him that much. Only a couple of villagers. I think Influenza lost more villagers in his base.
Yanghua continuing to push into Hassan's base. You can see kind of the stream of knights. How many stables does he have? He's got, what, 7 stables here. Imperial Age now for him as well. And Yo. Nice job by the Chinese pockets here. Who, as you can see, Yo's already got a couple of Magadai. He's obviously just Imp now, so it'll be a while. But it's GG called already. GG called by the US team, and yeah. When you saw them get Imp, they knew they were in trouble. So it's going to be China A who's going to take this pretty convincingly in game 1, to be honest.
Yeah, excellent performance by the Chinese team.
Yeah, it really was. And, you know, I think they often get a bad rap for being a team that just stonewalls every game, but they played a very aggressive, very open game, and they did it really almost to perfection there. That was pretty impressive by them against a very strong Arabia team in the U.S.